What's coming to this year's National Restaurant Show? More seats for one thing. Hello, this is Jonathan Mays, editor-in-chief of Restaurant Business. And in this special episode of A Deeper Dive, I speak with Tom Cindric, the president of exhibitions for Informa Connect Foodservice, the same parent company as Restaurant Business and the operator of the show. The show runs from May 18th through 21st, and we wanted to talk with Tom to get a sense of what's happening this year. Tom expects a fairly big event this year, which could indicate an industry that is looking to grow and address some of its issues, even amid a challenging year. We talk about technology, food, equipment, and some other cool things that are coming to the show in Chicago this year. And Tom reveals that there will be more park benches. So that's good news for those of you who get tired feet. We're talking show on A Deeper Dive, so please check it out. All right, I'm here with Tom Cindric. Tom, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan. It's always a pleasure to be here.
All right. Why don't you tell the listeners who you are and what you do?
So, Tom Cindric, I'm the president of exhibitions for Informa Connect's Foodservice group. So, my team oversees the National Restaurant Association show, which happens to be the largest food service show in the Western Hemisphere. And we're proud to produce that event every year in May in Chicago.
Oh, is that coming up?
It's coming up a couple weeks out. So
exactly. I guess that explains why I'm doing this.
If you can see the panic on my face, or the excitement on my face, I should say. Exactly.
Yeah, soon you'll see panic on my own face. So,
right.
So how many people come through the show every year? Somewhere about that.
So, we anticipate over 55,000 attendees. That's exhibitors, and operators and those that are in the food service industry. Looking at over 2,100 exhibitors, which probably will be close, if not more, than what we had in 2019, which is our all-time record-setting year. And we're actually still holding our breath. We think it could be the largest show that the show has had in its history. The history being this is the 103rd year of the event. So, storied legacy event. It's been in Chicago for 50 plus years now. And again, we're also excited about our international audience. We anticipate over 7,000 international visitors. That continues to grow. Definitely will be the most international visitors that we've had in the history of the show as well. So really exciting things, over 900 different product categories on display. All our major food, from the food categories, equipment, furnishings, lodging, tablewares, technology. It's all there.
So you're anticipating potentially the biggest show that we've ever.
Yeah, I think that potentially we're going to get there. We're going to get really, really close in terms of size and scale, which is exciting because we've over the last few years. I think last year we had 800 new exhibitors. The year before, 600 or 700 new exhibitors. So again, a lot of we've got people that have been exhibiting for 80, 90 years. So there's certainly those folks that if you've been to the show, you'll see, the usual suspects as always. But what's really exciting is every year, it's 500, 600, 700 new exhibitors that come into the show, which, is that's why as an attendee, you've got to come to this event. You've got to see the new things. Technology is just exploding. Last year, I think there's more robots than we've ever seen. It's pretty incredible and it's cool. And what's fun about the show is we mix our exhibitors. So you turn down one corner and there's robotics, arms, and processing equipment, and then you turn down and it's POS systems, and you turn around and it's food. So it's exciting. It's a maze. It's huge. It's essentially 10 football fields of equipment and services. And so it's not one for the weary, right? You've got to be ready to go and have your walking shoes on to get around the event.
Yeah.
So
yeah, walking shoes and maybe a portable chair.
Well, we will have more benches this year.
Really?
Jonathan, because I know that was something that was talked about in an RB article. It's the places to hang out and sit and things to do and see, and we will be covering that for sure this year.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that you read an article in Restaurant Business and made a change based on this?
Hey, we're always, our biggest fans. We've got to learn and listen, right? So
that has to be a first. Hey, I made a change based on something I read in restaurant business. All right, now, all right, my career I think is roughly complete. I don't think I made that suggestion though,
I
but
think it was one of your folks.
yeah. Well, I mean, we spend a lot of time walking at the show,
You do.
and it's interesting. All right, so one of the things that I really like about the show, and I've been going for years, is it's a very good place to get a good sense of what's happening in the industry. So, years ago, I mean, when food trucks became popular, you saw food trucks all over the place. You still kind of do, but
Yeah.
and then frozen yogurt, you could eat your weight in frozen yogurt.
Now
Right
it's gelato.
now,
Now it's
oh yeah.
gelato.
Oh, now it's a gelato. Oh yeah, now it's
Yeah,
gelato. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't need any of that, but I still eat it all left and right. But fortunately, you're getting your steps in at the show.
that's right.
But the thing that has been the overarching thing about the past couple of years is technology has just exploded
Yeah.
at the show, kind of reflecting what's going on at the restaurants. Do you expect a lot of technology this year?
Yeah, again, our technology area, which sells out every year, is, we've expanded it. It's again sold all the space. There's technology mixed throughout the show, but we certainly have an area that's focused on it with our technology tech stage. So we have demonstrations and things going on, and like as you mentioned last year, tons of robots, tons of automated systems. Coming out of the pandemic, as we've just seen technology explode as restaurants are embracing, uh, whether it's chains or independents, are embracing the technology to help, with efficiency, or, like you have automated pizza making machines and, all the robotic arms to cook fries and do things like that. It's just exploded and continues to be, kind of in the forefront of what's happening, what's new at the show. Well, technology is always changing, right? Changing fast, and people are coming up with new. I think I was saw somewhere where someone had I forget the name of the company, but they're predicting the weather and how the weather can impact your menu. Hey, next week it's going to be rainy all week, so let's have some soup on the menu, or or it's going to be hot, so we should have these great refreshing summer drinks that we should have. And it's just it's gotten where technology is just the use and the availability is incredible, right? For those in the food service industry.
So obviously, the other big thing that's at the one of the other big things at the show is a lot of equipment,
Yes.
and sort of the centerpiece of that is the Kitchen Innovation Awards. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Kitchen Innovation Awards, something that has been going on a really really long time. We have this year we're recognizing 25 cutting edge product manufacturers. Great products. What's really good about the Kitchen Innovations is a lot of times when you see things about the future, the products are not available. These are things but these are actual products that are shaping the industry in terms of of equipment. And so you can actually go to this area and see everyone that participates as an exhibitor. So you can go to the Kitchen Innovations area in the South Hall, check out their products, check out what's going on. It's really 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 fun, cool area, and we get a lot of it's a lot of positive feedback. Our exhibitors love it, and the attendees alike
Yeah. And a
as
little
well.
plug.
So.
Yeah, a little plug on. I'm actually moderating a panel on the KI Award. So that's one of my little contributions. Well, aside from coverage and
Yeah,
podcasts and
well, we
stuff.
appreciate your support as
Sure,
always.
sure. So now the Fabi Awards are also sort of a big deal. Yeah, that's sort of highlighting the other big thing, which is food.
Food, exactly. And so our Fabi Awards this year, again, we're recognizing 35 groundbreaking products, that redefine the culinary innovation. It's something that our food companies are very proud of when you get recognized. This year, we also are doing our 10 standout favorites, and so you can actually see those people. Again, it's a great award program. We're proud of both our KI and Fabi Awards, and so if you come to the show, you definitely want to check that out.
Right, right. And that's the other area. That's the food trends is obviously a huge one. And frankly, the show is probably the best place to find out where the big food trends are. Last couple of years, you're seeing a ton of plant-based stuff, plant-based roughly
Yeah,
every.
and I think this year too, it's flavor. Like flavors come in, lots of popularity with African and Asian and Korean flavors, and so you'll see that we focus a lot on that. So when you talk about trends too, you talk about sustainability and zero waste. You start to see a lot of that come in. Grab and go continues to be huge, and we already talked about technology. So those are really some of our what we call our what we're seeing on the show floor and what we're experiencing in terms of the trends that are happening in the industry. So
Now
the
you said international is a growing part of that. Now
yeah.
how do you get the how do you tailor the show to an international audience? Is there anything different that you've had to do?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things that we've done this year, we've launched our Expo Plus education program. So in years past, in addition to sponsor-led sessions that were held on the show floor in our like our beverage room stage and our um, in our education stage and our technology stage, this year we're doing our Expo Plus education, which is we're taking that education into classroom seating and classroom style. And one of our largest participants are the people that are signing up are our international visitors, because when they do come, again, they want to learn about what's happening in different segments. What are people in the United States doing? And so that's been a huge boost in terms of attracting international visitors. The show has been around forever. It has a great international following. Chicago's a great international destination. And it kind of comes hand in hand because in addition to, international visitors and attendees, I think this year we've got 36% more international exhibitors than we had last year, which is just huge. So in our Lakeside area, our Global Food Expo has just exploded. And so, things like Bella Vita, which is the Italian pavilion, there's just some great international exhibitors over there as well. So again, the other thing too is this year our keynote speaker. We're very very excited to have Jose Andres, who's the acclaimed chef and restaurateur and humanitarian, and obviously all his global work that he does. And so excited to have him. So things like that in terms of programming and scheduling really helps us draw those international visitors, as well as the domestic uh,
Mhm.
the domestic group too. We have a huge following in the in South America, Brazil. It's one of our largest segments next to Asia.
I've thought my experience, at least in talking with international operators, they're very interested in what's going on in the United
Yeah,
States,
very
for
much
sure.
so. Yeah,
And they want to set. Tom, this was great. I really appreciate you
yeah,
joining me on
appreciate
the
it.
podcast.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Look forward to seeing everybody at the show.
And that was all for this special episode of A Deeper Dive, which was edited, as always, by Spoons, artwork by Nico Hines. You may find this and other episodes of the podcast on our website at www.restaurantbusinessonline.com/article/deeper-dive. And you may subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I'm Jonathan Mays, your host, podcast producer, and the editor-in-chief of Restaurant Business. Thank you for listening.